Welcome back to our Inventor series. Right now, we're going to show you how to use some of the geometric feature tools or the modeling tools. Now, right now, I've got a fully defined sketch on my screen. What you're looking at is a sketch that I have basically gone in and I've created, and then I've applied dimensions to control it. I've applied constraints to maintain parallelity or vertical or horizontal straightness on these pieces. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to show you how some of these tools work. Now, the first one we're going to show you is extrude. Extrude's really easy. It does exactly what it says it's going to do. It stretches the part in the third dimension. Now, I can go forward or backward on my plane, but right now, when I can specify a distance, right now, I just take the default forward, and I'm just going to let it go 1 inch or 0.75 inches exactly forward. There. That's all it really takes. Now, the other tools we want to use with this, that's how extrude works. So let's show you a couple other tools that go with this. So let's show you an extrude cut. Well, first I have to create another sketch. So I'm just going to select my plane, pick 2D sketch, and then I'm going to draw on it. In this case, I'm going to draw just a rectangle that goes on it. Don't care where right now. In fact, I'm going to draw a circular cut as well. So I'm just going to put a circle down on this corner right here. Now, once I've got those, I can go in and I can apply all the constraints and all the dimensional constraints like normal. Like, say I want to make sure that this part from there to there is exactly, say, 1.5 inches. There's my dimensional constraint. If I want to make sure that this circle has a distance of 0.25 down from our baseline, and say, also 0.25 from the edge of our parts, we make sure that this cut is specified at that radius. We're good to go there. Now, if I want to add any other constraints on here for size, I can do that right now. I'm going to make this exactly 1.5 inches across, and I'm going to make sure that this edge of it, the nearest edge to our critical surface or our baseline datum edge, is 1.625 or 1 5/8 of an inch. So I've got all that applied now. See this line out here that's beyond it, here and here, they don't matter. The only other important part is the radius of my circle. And let's say I make that exactly a 3-inch diameter circle. Now, once I've done that, I'll finish my sketch. Now, extrude cut works just like extrude, but it removes material. So if I simply pick extrude, and then I'm going to have to pick the shapes I want to use to cut with. Well, I pick those two I just drew, but if I pick this second button down, it cuts in. Now, you'll see it removes the part all the way through. But let's say I don't want to go all the way through. Say I only want to go 0.25 deep, or 0.125 deep. I've just made a notch that is 1/8 of an inch deep there and 1/8 of an inch deep there. That's all it takes. Now, the next one we're going to show you is how to use the hole wizard right here. Now, to do this, I first need to set a point. So I'm going to have to create another sketch. I'm going to go back to that same surface, create a 2D sketch, and I'm just going to set a point. In fact, I'm going to set like 3 points here. And then maybe one right up there. Okay. Now, if I want to, I can put dimensions on them just like before. I can set exactly where I want them to be, and I can control their locations in space to a nth degree. But for right now, we're just going to leave those other three where they're at. Okay. I'm going to finish this sketch. Now, to make a hole, I just use my hole wizard, and all these holes are going to be done at once. Now, if you look at it, the hole goes all the way through right now. It's doing a through all. Okay, now, if I want to, I can tell it to do a specific distance, not through all. I can tell it to go a distance of, say, instead of 1 inch, let's say I want it to go 1/4 of an inch. It'll go 1/4 of an inch down to the base, and then you've got the taproot, okay, or the base of the drill. It'll have that point will be 118 degrees, which is normal for a drill. I can apply internal threads to it at this point if I want to, and I can specify the thread completely out. And we're not going to worry about that. We'll worry about that when we get to fasteners and things later on in one of our other modules. So, but basically that's what we can do with this. Now I'm going to remove the threads for right now, and I'm going to look at those holes. Now they're fine, but say I want to do something like a counter bore. Now a counter bore is just exactly how it looks right here. It drills in. That's for like a socketed head or a reliefed head to sit inside. I can do a spot face, I can do a countersink, I can do a drilled hole. Doesn't really matter. Now I'm actually going to tell it to go through all, and I'm going to tell it to have a counter bore of 1/4 of an inch deep, and my counter bore, I'm going to change that size right there to be 0.5. Okay, now that's going to push it right to the edge of this, but that's okay. My depth is still going to be 1/4 inch, and my through hole is still going to be 1/4 inch. So if I hit OK, There, I've now created the holes. That's how the hole wizard works. Really simple. Now, last but definitely not least, okay, we're going to create a sketch and we're going to do a revolve. We can do revolves with our drawings. Now, to do a revolve right here, I'm simply going to first off create a line. I'm going to do a line right here. Just throw it out there. Okay, now I'm also going to create a profile right here. So I'm going to create some random profile. I'll just make something up real fast. I'm using circles. I can use rectangles, I can use lines, I can use whatever I want. And then I'm going to trim it out a wee bit, use my trim tools. And notch out that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to right click and hit my done. But before I leave, I'm turning that line right there into a center line. Now watch this. If I finish my sketch, and I go up here and I tell it to revolve, I'll select that profile I just made. Now I have to select an axis. Well, that axis I made is that center line. Now it's going to try to automatically do a full. Let's say I want it to do something different. Say I want it to go backward, or not all the way around, or who knows what I want. So it's going to create that shape and stretch it in the third dimension. And let's say I want it to go exactly 180 degrees. And I want it to go reverse direction. Okay. And I go, okay, there it is. It just simply stretched that shape in the third dimension around that axis I had here. And that's all it takes. I can create cups, circles, cylinders, piston, shafts, you name it, you pick it, I can make it with that tool. There is a revolve cut as well. Works exactly like extrude cut, does the same thing but in reverse. There's all kinds of tools in there you can use. You can basically use these tools to create any shape. So thank you for your time. See ya.